People often wonder what it's like living with a chronic illness. And to be honest, it's not easy. It's never knowing what each day is going to look like. Sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days. And it's never knowing what each day is going to be. And for me, that's extremely difficult. I like things to be predictable, but they're not predictable with a chronic illness. I can feel fine one day and the next day I'm sick. Or I can be sick for 3 days in a row and suddenly wake up the next day and feel completely fine. I can wake up and feel good, and by the afternoon, I feel like I'm dying. It changes from moment to moment. It changes day by day. It changes week to week. It changes month to month. It's never knowing what to expect. And something I finally have come to realize is that I have to learn to embrace the good moments and accept the bad ones, because I can't predict what's going to happen. I struggle with severe gastroparesis, complete dysmotility. I have an ileostomy, and I have no function of my colon and rectum. I'm actually having a total proctoclectomy in September to remove my colon, rectum, and anus. And I had a period of about a month where I felt pretty good. I had some symptoms, but they were manageable. And then out of nowhere, for the past 2 weeks, I've been in a severe flare. And I've had to deal with that flare. And I've still had to go on living life, because life doesn't stop just because I don't feel well. And for years, I kind of let my life stop because of my chronic illness. And I realized I can't do that anymore. I have to continue living life despite how I feel. That life has to go on. That whether I'm throwing up or I have severe nausea or severe abdominal pain, I still need to get up and do the things that I need to do to live my life every single day. And people without a chronic illness don't understand how hard that is. They don't understand that when you don't feel well, you're still out there living life and doing the things that you need to do. Whether for some people it's holding down a job, for others it's having to do all of the household chores, it's having to take care of everything, it's having to run the errands, it's having to cook the meals. And I guess I would compare, for me, because I have gastrointestinal issues, imagine having the stomach flu and you still have to go to work. Even though you're vomiting and shitting yourself, you still have to show up for work. And imagine that going on for 3, 4, or 5 days. And at this point, you're dehydrated, you're not able to keep any food down, so you don't feel well, you're lightheaded, you're dizzy, and you still have to go about your day and live it. And for me, that's an example of a flare. That's what it would be like for me if I were to give you the best example of what it's like dealing with my chronic illness. And it's not easy. With my ostomy, I have to change my ostomy bag twice a week. I have to deal with making sure it's not leaking. I have to empty it. I have to do all those things. I have to go to my doctor's appointments. I have to go to the infusion center every week. I have to get my blood work done every week. I have to live my life, and I have to make sure all of those things are taken care of despite how I feel. And I think people who have what I call an invisible illness, meaning you can't see it, I'm not gonna come up to you and be hi and just start puking in front of you and be here's my illness. I don't show it to people. I mean, people see my port. I don't show my ostomy bag. You wouldn't know that I'm sick. You wouldn't know that there's something wrong. So people just assume that I'm fine, and they don't know what my day-to-day life looks like. They don't know that I'm laying on the bathroom floor crying, throwing up, or that I'm in severe pain and I'm shaking from the pain and my pain medication isn't working. They don't know that I'm on palliative care, that it's gotten to the point that my symptoms are so bad that I've been put on palliative care. People don't know my situation unless I tell them. And, don't judge people with chronic illnesses and their limitations. They're trying to live their life as best as possible, given the restrictions they have due to their chronic illness. So that's just the best example I can give, is having a long-term stomach bug and still having to go out and live your life. you probably would be absolutely miserable. But that's how I have to live my life every single day, no matter how I feel. So don't judge people who have a chronic illness, who maybe can't do as much as you can do, because you don't know their limitations. And I'm doing, and people with chronic illnesses are doing, the best that they can, despite the fact that they don't feel well most days. And some days they feel great and they can do things just like you can do things, but not every day is a good day.